Thank you, everyone. Let's see, Mike. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the Human Rights Commission meeting, standard meeting. Today is Monday, June the 10th, 2024, and it's 5:30 p.m. So let's get the meeting started, and we're gonna hold the meeting to order. And Jamie, can you please do roll call?
Commissioner Flood. Present. Commissioner Remus.
Present.
Vice Chair Vignola.
Present.
Chair Layola.
Present.
Commissioner Rinky.
Present.
Commissioner Greer.
Present.
Commissioner Cleary.
Here.
Commissioner Horn. Student Representative Hannah. Not present. Student Representative Figueroa. Not present. There is a full quorum.
Thank you for that, Jeremy. So number 3 in the agenda items is presentations, and I believe we have no presentation scheduled for today's meeting. So moving to item number 4 in the agenda, which is the acceptance of the agenda. And I would like to ask if we have a motion to accept the agenda as it stands. So the Commissioner MJ Horn makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
So we have a second by Commissioner Remus.
Could I make
Any additional comments?
yes. I'd like to, Mr. Chair, given council's decision to take up at its next regular meeting, 3 days from now, a resolution temporarily suspending meetings and all activities of the Human Rights Commission for an undetermined period of time, I move that we adjourn this meeting, and I request a second.
I'll second that.
So Commissioner Greer, we have a second motion. So we have, okay, so we have 2 motions in play.
And according to Robert's Rules of Order, when there are 2 or 3 motions on the floor, at the same time, the vote should proceed first on the last motion that is made.
Is that correct, Jamie?
That is correct.
Okay, so the second motion, which was introduced by Vice Chair Vignolo and second by Commissioner Greer.
And excuse me, to ensure I have this correct, the motion is to adjourn the meeting immediately.
Immediately.
Correct, and there can be discussion on my motion.
Certainly.
If
We do have a
it's been
first and a second.
seconded. I don't know if it's been
It
seconded.
has been
Yeah,
seconded
I
by
seconded
Commissioner
it.
Greer.
Thank you.
So at that point, is there any discussion on the motion?
Yes, why?
Excuse me?
Why? I mean,
Mike, please.
oh, sorry. No, I'm curious, I'm curious to know why. I mean, since we have a general idea, but I'm not sure about your motion.
Well, my specific reason for suggesting we adjourn this meeting is because I don't see the point in having the meeting. Given that the council will be taking up the resolution to suspend this commission for an undetermined period of time at Thursday's council meeting, 3 days from now. So I feel like, what is the point, quite frankly, of us doing anything this evening? Given that I feel pretty strongly that the council will pass the resolution, suspend us from meeting and conducting all business for
So,
an undetermined period of time.
but my question is, shouldn't we discuss this and it be recorded, what the reason that the council is doing this? I think we all know, but
I
For
don't
the
think we can
record-
discuss that
What-
because it's not been
I
agendized.
thought it was.
That's correct. It is not an agenda. It is not an agendized
Oh, I
item.
thought
But we can discuss the merits of my motion
okay,
because it is a motion that has been seconded.
And while I'm not a commissioner, I might make a staff recommendation that since we have a member of the public today, you might consider revising your motion to allow the member of the public to still provide public comment and then adjourn after public comment.
I'm willing to amend my motion if if Commissioner Greer agrees. We have the written testimony, but certainly the member of the public could. I mean, that's revising our agenda, so if that's permissible,
That would be permissible if motion second and.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
fine with
sure.
having the member of the public address the commission and then we immediately adjourn after public
Yeah,
comments.
I second.
So we do have an amended motion and a second on that?
We do have, we do have the input from the last council meeting where, council member, Christie, what's her house name? She basically had, she basically put the motion forward to suspend, to put us in hiatus, as she said, which to me means not do any business. And it was agreed upon, so I think David assumption is legitimate.
I guess we can't discuss that.
Okay.
We can't discuss it. so.
No, we're discussing it under the terms of. the
Well,
motion.
I
we're
don't
discussing my motion.
We're
and-
discussing the
looking-
motion. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm looking for it on the agenda, the city council agenda for June 13th. And I don't see it. I just. would
I
like-
have it with me if you'd like.
know.
It is on the agenda for June 13th. It's item 1L. As in Lima. And I'm happy to share the resolution.
Maybe you could just read it for us on the record.
We're getting real
No.
close to, we're getting close to.
That's more like a
discussion-
substantive
Discussion
discussion.
item, so
Okay.
the agenda is publicly available. To be identified on the consent calendar is item 1L. You can pull it out that way, and Vice Chair Vignello indicated he had a copy here he could
Yeah.
hand out.
I mean, I'm
That's what-
happy-
and it's what you said it was, that the city council agendized the hiatus.
right, but we did not agenda
Oh, we're
a
talking about-
discussion of their
Which is why we can
proposed.
go that deep.
Right, so the chair
there's
can
no
now call
agenda.
for a vote since we have a first and a second.
So we have an amended motion
Right.
to adjourn. Moving after the public commentary. And we have a second by Commissioner Greer to accept that. Any further discussion on that? If that is the case, let's just put that to a vote to accept the second motion and again, second amended motion. Those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
For the record.
Hi.
Yes.
Okay, so we have some abstains.
Did you get her abstention?
Yes.
And one. oh,
Two
two
abstentions.
abstentions.
Okay, so we're gonna move, excuse me, we're gonna move on to public commentary. We have one public comment. This time has been set aside for members of the public to address the Human Rights Commission on agenda items and items of general interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. Although the commission values your comments pursuant to that, it generally cannot take any action on items not listed or on posted agenda. We will be granted 3 minutes. Thank you for being here. Please state your name for public record and begin.
I am Doug Evans. I'm with Friends of Frank Bogert. Some of you have heard me before. Some of you received the correspondence that I handed out before. I think it's pertinent to today and what's going on in the city and also what's going on potentially Thursday evening. If you take a look at Human Rights Commission Monument Report, I'd encourage all of you to thumb through it. Available at your website, you should be able to find it. And then take a look at Engage Palm Springs, which is a new website of the city where it posts its news. And the city posted facts about section 14. Those facts completely dismantle the HRC monument report, which was used to remove the statue of Frank Bogert from in front of City Hall. Some of you may have heard this. Frank never liked the statue at City Hall. His friends put it there and the rest of the council agreed. He never saw himself as just a public official. He was active in the community and he was active in a lot of areas. Why is it significant, the HRC report? If you go to the city clerk's website and read the letters that they posted between the city attorney and the survivors, you will see that somewhere in their private meetings, settlement negotiations, the city attorney tried to distance the city from the HRC report. Basically said it was not commissioned by the city. Why did he do that? Because it's not factual, and he wanted to distance it in the context of litigation. Reva Martin, attorney for the survivors, ripped him for that in writing and basically said, do you want to really embarrass the mayor pro tem who authored the report? And as those of you that were involved, you know that nobody's fessed up to being the author. 3 years later, was it Chairman DeHart? Was it Chairman DeHart and other people? He won't tell anybody. He wouldn't tell anybody during his campaign. But the crux of it is now that report that we pleaded with you, not all of you were here at that point, don't adopt it. It's not factual. The city now has verified it's not factual. The mayor has stated publicly that even defending the lawsuit could be tens of millions of dollars. That's why it's significant. If you take a look at the records that we requested from the city, that were
Mr. Manager, 3 minutes have concluded.
4 of the 5 city council members were mentioned in correspondence in the preparation of that report. You're getting hammered for violation of the Brown Act. They should probably look at themselves too. Thank you very much. And Friends of Frank Bogert, by the way, supports the Human Rights Commission. We don't think you should be disbanded. We think that you should be coached better by staff as well as the city attorney so you can do your job for the community, which Frank Bogert would say is an important task. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Evans, for your testimony. And with that, Jeremy, we're gonna move to adjourn. So moving on to adjournment, this commission will adjourn to a special joint meeting with the city council scheduled on Monday, June the 17th, 2024. And as just a quick reminder, it takes place at the convention center.
That's correct.
The convention center, and the event begins at 5 o'clock.
Dinner begins at 5 o'clock.
Okay, so for those of you who can join at 5 o'clock for dinner and the event, please do so.
Can I ask you a question? I'm curious. If we're disbanding, we're canceling this meeting because of the city council motion on Thursday? Why are we going to the, I mean, how do we fit into this city council tete-a-tete with commissions? I
I
mean,
can answer that question. The proposed staff, or the staff report that has a proposed disbandment indicates that the HRC would still participate in the June 17th meeting. And the June 17th meeting is really a look back at some of the successes that has occurred and the work that has been done over the last 12 months.
okay,
Um,
thank you for your answer.
I see that, in the agenda packet for the city council on Thursday, that, we have a new member, Scott Neville, who's been appointed, and Hugo Loyola has been reappointed. So this all kind of flies in the face of us being disbanded.
So the appointments will still occur and there'll be members of the commission at such point that the commission begins to meet again.
You should read the resolution that will be taken up on June 13th, please.
So with that, we are adjourning to the 17th, and I wish you all good evening and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Hugo.